Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work of wiping you and your family's personal information from data broker websites. These websites are real. They are insidious. Look them up. It's freaky. Delete Me knows your privacy is worth protecting. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what info you want deleted, and their experts take it from there. I love that it is not just a one-time service. You get regular personalized privacy reports. Delete Me is always working for you. When I get my email that the privacy report has come in, I always check it. They're always crushing it, doing a great job, constantly monitoring, removing personal info that you don't want on the internet. The New York Times Wirecutter has named Delete Me their top pick for data removal services. That goes a long way. And I'll tell you, I've lived very publicly. I've done a lot of work that has a cult following, and very unfortunately, there have been a few situations in life where it's gotten really intense, and I've started to wonder, are lines being inappropriately crossed here? I need to make sure that my family is safe, that I'm safe, and Delete Me has done so much for me and my family in a genuine way. I would never say this as part of an ad if it wasn't true. Delete Me has made me rest easier at night in a very, very legit way, knowing that my personal info is as protected as you can ask for in 2025. Thank you personally. From me, Delete Me, thank you. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private. Sign up for Delete Me, now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful and use promo code beautiful at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Enter the code beautiful at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/beautiful. The code is beautiful. Hello to everybody who's lived multiple lives within one lifetime. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, one phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hi everybody, Chris Gethard here. I know not everybody loves an intro. If you're looking to skip, go about like 5 minutes ahead, 5.5 minutes ahead. That'll put you right at the beginning of the call. Thanks so much. Enjoy it. Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here. Welcome to another episode of Beautiful Anonymous. As I've been saying lately, it's a show where we look at the human condition, one anonymous phone call at a time. I feel really lucky to do it. I feel really psyched to be here. If you notice that the audio quality might be a little bit different or you hear noise in the background, it's because I'm currently in San Diego, California. I'm co-hosting the Wellness Together conference. This is the parent company of my nonprofit, Laughing Together. And there's a 3-day conference where all these people from education and government and nonprofits come together. And it's really amazing. And I get to every year feel really inspired. And I'll tell you one thing I'm learning. California is not going down quietly when it comes to education. When you see the federal government cutting the Department of Education, when you see the squeeze being put on school funding, California is giving me hope this week that they're going to step up and lead us back to a sense of sanity. And that's one of my big takeaways. So very, very psyched about that. I have to offer up a massive, massive thank you to all the Beautiful Anonymous fans who have watched my new special. I put a special out last week. It's called A Father and the Son. Put it out on YouTube. As of this recording, like 23,000 people have watched it, which, look, it's not setting the internet on fire, but it's pretty good. And the positive feedback means the world. Thank you so much. People have been generally very kind about it. Thank you guys for watching that. And again, I said it last week. I know we are in a world where everybody waits until the week of to buy tickets for live events. I get it. I do the same thing. Remember, in October, I think it's October 17th, we're having the Beautiful Anonymous episode 500 live taping. It's the first live taping we've done in a while. Doing it in my home state of New Jersey, doing it at Smod Castle Cinemas in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, which is a movie theater that does great programming. I've performed there before. It's owned by Kevin Smith, who is a DIY Jersey hero. And if you are planning on coming, I'm begging you to buy a ticket now so I can stop stressing about it. We're also going to have a t-shirt that's available for sale there. If any are left over, we'll sell them to the people. And what else? Probably if you didn't get a copy of the Beautiful Anonymous magazine, we'll be selling some extra copies there. The whole thing will be so laid back, so chill, and I think a really good night. So if you're planning on coming, why not grab the ticket now so that your friend Chris can stop stressing about the ticket sales? Because I know it's going to turn out okay. But just help me get it there so I can stop. I don't have enough hair to be tearing my hair out, stressing about ticket sales. Anyway, this week's episode, I mean, there's a lot of content warnings I should be giving. It's a call that I will tell you when it starts out, you're going to go, what's he talking about? But it'll get there. And I don't want to spoil too much, but I'll say there's a lot of topics in here that are super, super real and not always easy. Starts off with a conversation about Burning Man, where I admit pretty quickly and frankly to the caller, yeah, I've made some punchlines about Burning Man on the show. There was actually a stretch where Burning Man people were like, can you stop making fun of Burning Man on Beautiful Anonymous? And I did. I slowed it down. But I copped to that. I made sure the caller knew that. And the caller tells me about Burning Man from sort of the lifestyle perspective, the community perspective. But then it becomes clear that it's a lot more about that, about the redefinition perspective, I would say. Burning Man is a big part of this caller's ability to redefine things a little bit later in life. And we get into what that means. And I will tell you, again, I don't want to spoil it too much, but man, it's real life. And the caller dealt with a lot. There's certainly, I got to say, there's warnings about abuse in here. And the aftermath of situations along those lines don't get wrapped up in a neat bow. It's one of the things I've learned over the 9+ years I've been doing this show is that when people call me, everybody's life is a work in progress at any given point. And it's real easy to forget that. And sometimes it's a work in progress and it remains such. And the resolution takes a really long time if it ever comes. You're going to hear about what happens when a domestic situation is unhealthy and how that has years of impact and relationships that get pulled in different directions in ways that healing is hard to even to define what that could mean. And in some ways, it's a really heartbreaking call. I would say in the 9 years of doing the show, there's some aspects of this where I go, some of this is some of the more heartbreaking stuff we've heard. There's kind of a wake of destruction. But that being said, there's also a lot of hope. There's also a lot of healing. There's also a lot of pride in figuring out how to navigate your way out of bad situations and learning how to be a grown-up and understand that there's, a lot left in the wake of that. I think there's a lot to be learned about real life, about winding up in situations that seem completely inescapable and escaping, but also knowing that there's collateral damage to that. I really love this call. I think you will too.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. I ate some Mexican food last night that was a little too spicy, but outside of that, doing great.
Oh no. Oh my gosh. I've heard you talk a lot about having stomach issues.
Yeah.
And I can definitely relate. I actually was diagnosed with, I'm not saying that this is what you have, but I was diagnosed with celiac a decade ago.
I was tested
and
for
it.
Came up negative. I was shocked. I thought I was going to get it.
I know I've heard you say that before too. Yeah. But the stomach problem thing, I get it. I definitely
hear
get
you.
it. And I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Your empathy means the world. Thank you.
Are you feeling any better today?
I'm kind of in the thick of it, but I'll be fine. Life is good.
Okay.
Yeah, life is good considering that
good.
I'm a comedian as we watch comedy get crushed by fascism. Outside of that, life is good.
I know. Yeah,
outside of that,
it's great, right? Everything's fine. It's fine.
the sun feels warm on my skin. My kid rules. There's a lot to be happy about.
Yeah. There definitely is.
I'm
actually.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, you please. You please.
It's always funny with this show, the lag time sometimes between you and your callers.
Takes a second to get used to.
They're talking over each other sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get into our rhythm. We'll find our rhythm. How are you?
Yeah.
What's new with you? How's things?
Things are good. We could talk about so many things, but I guess I'll just start by saying I'm in the mountains in the west, and it's almost fall, so the fall colors are incredible. I'm sitting on my back deck, and I'm looking out at the mountains and just looking at the different colors popping up, and it's pretty freaking amazing. And my partner and I, we just went to Burning Man, so we did that. We could talk about that. We could talk about starting new things later in life. Oh, it was awesome. It was really, really good. I've gone to each official burn since 2018, and this is one of my favorite ones. It was really good. It was crazy, though. I mean, have you seen anything in the news about it?
Well, yeah, a few things. I saw that there were a lot of weather issues that were kind of tearing down camps this year, and a lot of disaster. And I also just want to say, and it sounds like you've listened to the show over the years, I have made fun of Burning Man from time to time, and I've also been set straight on that. And I'm sure you're aware of this as you bring up Burning Man.
Actually, so I'm actually a relatively new listener. I discovered you earlier in this year, actually, on a road trip. Like, I've heard so many other people have discovered you on road trips, and you just, I listened to you the whole time. And so I haven't heard you diss on Burning Man, but I know it gets a lot of flack, and I understand where people are coming from. I really do. I don't think Burning Man is for everyone, that's for sure. But for the people it is for, it can be actually life-changing. And that was true for me. It just kind of gave me a new way to live life, a new way to see things and experience things. And, it was really eye-opening in so many ways. It's really hard to be there. Like, you have to really want to be there, and you have to be willing to suffer, which is weird for me because I'm not the kind of, sorry, that's not my dog, but it's our neighbors. I'm not typically the kind of person that likes to suffer. So the fact that I actually do that and have thought it out is pretty crazy. But it was good.
Talk to me about this year's Burning Man. Talk to me about all these videos we all saw of like camps being destroyed by high-powered winds and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster of a year for the weather. So there was a big windstorm that had, from what I understand, some hurricane force winds, which, from what I understand, it's unprecedented for Burning Man. There have never been that kind of wind forces before. So we were there for that. And it was crazy. We had we have a carport that we use for a shade structure, and one of our neighbors had a carport also, and his was not secured properly, and it came up and blew into our camp, and metal wrapped around metal. I'll just put it that way. So it was pretty intense, to say the least, but we made it through, and there were definitely some camps that lost everything. But I think most people fared pretty well overall. So it was definitely tough and a lot of cleanup afterwards, but it was good. And then we had 3 days of rain, which turns the playa into like this mud cement. So you can't do anything. You just have to hunker down and wait for the playa to dry. So there was a lot of hunkering down and then cleaning up the next day. So our actual really fun stuff didn't start until midweek. But once that happened, it was absolute perfection. It was so beautiful, so much fun. lots of great music and dancing and art. The art is really my favorite thing, and just being with the people that I love. And my friendships are really important to me, and it's a really good place to connect with the people that you love the most. So, yeah, but it was intense, that's for sure, literally and figuratively.
Tell me about the. I want to hear about this art, and I also want to ask you because I think for the non-Burning Man people, and again, I've made a couple jokes over the years, and I've been told, "Hey, man, you would actually love Burning Man of all people. Why are you making jokes?" I do think there's maybe the perception that it's like hippies, orgies, drugs. So what's the reality of these cliches? Are those things happening?
Yeah, all of those things are happening, but that is definitely not the sum total of the experience. And one of the coolest things about it to me too is that there's just all kinds of people. There's definitely like the super rich, I don't know, tech bros that go, but then there's definitely the hippies that go, and everybody in between. So there's doctors and lawyers and other professional people. There's people who are blue collar workers that go, who kind of are maybe more rough around the edges, and people from all over the world who are definitely not hippies at all. As far as like orgies go, there is the Orgy Dome, which was, I think, sort of infamously or famously blown this year.
I believe our
Orgy Dome was lost.
I believe our last episode that dealt with Burning Man as a topic was titled The Orgy Dome. If I remember right, we did have a beautiful anonymous about Burning Man titled The Orgy Dome.
I haven't heard that one.
Well, yeah, it came up and you go, what's the title that's going to get us the most clicks? You go with Orgy Dome.
Well, I have never personally been in the Orgy Dome. Orgies are not my thing. I mean, I definitely don't judge anybody who does. I'm all for it. If that's your thing, then by all means, that's amazing. Not my thing. Before I went to Burning Man, I thought maybe there was going to be like just people having sex everywhere and naked everywhere, and that is absolutely not the case. So public sex is still illegal, even on the playa. And, there's a consent factor there too. Seeing other people do intimate things is, you need to have consent of the people who would want to see it or not. And so anyway, it's not my thing. I am not an exhibitionist. And I have never personally seen anybody have sex out there. And also it's really dirty. Like the playa, the dust is really alkaline, and it's not great for your private bits. So I like to stay pretty clothed and protected. So, but there's definitely nudity. There's definitely people who like to be nude there, which is great for them. I hope they have good medicine for that. But
if the pH is off in that soil, I have to imagine it's not easy to get in and out of Burning Man. And if you're coming down with a yeast infection early in your Burning Man experience, that's going to put a real damper on the whole time.
Yep. I know 2 women who had yeast infections, and I will say this is the first burn that I did not have any issues, because I was just so hyper aware, like very careful, very clean, and not walking around nude. So UTIs. Yeah, it's just the alkalinity of the playa dust is, it's a thing. So you got to keep it all clean. You asked about, let's see, hippies, orgy domes. What was the other thing?
That was drugs. Lots of drugs.
Oh, drugs. Oh, yeah. I think there's definitely a lot of drugs there. But there's also a lot of sobriety. There's definitely a lot of people who go sober, and you definitely don't need drugs to have even psychedelic experiences there. Like, in fact, there's like, one of the cool things too about it is there's workshops and, there's support groups there. So like I don't personally have addiction issues, but I have seen that there's like AA groups there, and other kinds of support groups, and there's a lot of care there, a lot of availability for self-care and all of that. So, I mean, it's a city. There's everything. It's not just like a festival. It's not just music. It's not just, drugs and sex and whatever. You can go and have a meal. Like, I was served a 5-course meal at one of the camps just by luck, and it was absolutely incredible. And you can go get coffee, you can get tea, there's just so many opportunities for crazy, fun, weird experiences and normal experiences. So
now
anyway,
you mentioned that this really redefined your life.
Yeah. We can go down the serious road or we can keep it light. I'm good either way, but one of the things that I love too about your show so much is it's so fun to listen to all of these different people. And there's just so many people that, I can relate to. And I know that's true for all of your listeners. We can just really relate to each other and realize oh, wow, I'm not that unique actually. I'm not, we're all special. I'm special in my own way, and I have my unique experiences, but, it's really cool to just feel like I can connect with people in that way. I lost my train of thought a little bit. You asked about, life changing. Yeah. So for me, I'm 48. I have been through a lot of shit in my life. The marriages and divorces. I've been in abusive relationships, and I was really shut down, in my 20s and 30s. I was a shell of a human. I was a shell of who I was, basically. And after my second divorce, I worked really, really hard on cultivating good friendships, on actually making friends as an adult, which is, I'm sure it's harder to make friends when you're an adult. And I moved to a new place, so I wasn't around my, the people I knew growing up. These people, my friends, have become my family, my chosen family, and they have been able to show me how to play. I've had lots of therapy. I have gone to workshops. I've read a lot of the self-improvement books, self-help. I talk openly about my experiences. So I've had a lot of healing. But going to Burning Man, that's just one piece of the puzzle. But for me, again, it just, how do I explain it? There's nothing like it in the world. It's actually just indescribable. We brought a couple of friends that had never been for the first time this year. And, we've tried to explain it to them, and one night we rode onto the playa, and just the looks on their faces, where are we? How is this even real? Which was my experience for the first time. How does this even exist? Mm-hmm. It's so mind blowing what people do when they connect and create, and people put so much blood, sweat, and tears, literally and figuratively, into creating experiences for other people. And people spend a shit ton of money to be able to do it, with no return. It's not like they're earning anything back. So I don't know. It just showed me a different way to be in my daily life. I came home after my first burn with just this new view of wow, I can actually love people. It's not like I have to express undying love to everybody in the world and become best friends with everybody that I meet, but I can just really, really love people, and I can be of service to people. I learned how to be of service to people in a different way. I learned how to be a more helpful person. I learned how to be more creative by going to Burning Man. These are all things that I've carried over into my everyday life, and it's made me be able to cultivate more intimate relationships. And I'm not talking like sexual intimacy. I'm talking just, love, friendship, connection, more intimacy, more laughter, lots more laughter, just being more open, more confident in myself, because I was not confident at all after my second divorce. And it's been a gift. I think it's been a gift to myself and the people I love and even my community, which is pretty awesome.
I love that answer. It's a beautiful answer. It's really beautiful.
Well, thanks.
Can I ask, you mentioned you've had a couple divorces, abusive relationships, which could be those marriages, could be relationships on top of those marriages. I want to get a sense of the timeline of when do you feel like you had removed yourself from that last really negative relationship to when you attended your first Burning Man?
I went to my first Burning Man a few years after my second marriage ended. Mm-hmm. So I met my current partner in 2016. And I would say that was like a year and a half or close to 2 years after my divorce. I really took some time working on myself and like trying to figure out like why I was attracted to toxic, abusive men. And I fixed that. So now my partner is not that. He's amazing. And he had been to Burning Man before, like just a couple of times many, many years ago. And some of our friends had been. And so that's kind of just how it all came together. I was curious. And so my partner, he has been a huge, huge part of just, I don't know. I healed so much before I met him, but also like he has just made me a better person. And he's also shown me different ways of living, like not just Burning Man, but he's a former Marine, and he's also an engineer. He's just super smart. He loves adventure. So he has taken me out into the wilderness, into places where there's no other humans, and just into the desert and stuff I never would have imagined that I could do, where I would be. He's shown me kindness and respect and healthy boundaries, I know you didn't ask about him specifically, but as far as like timing goes, it was a couple of years after that the second marriage ended.
And do you have any kids from your two marriages?
Yeah, I have 2 kids from my first marriage. But unfortunately, I don't really have much of a relationship with them because my second husband, or as I like to call him, my wasband, he was abusive to them. And it was really damaging. And so there's definitely a lot of, that's very sad,
Yeah.
I miss them a lot. I haven't seen my boys in a long, long time. And I understand, after I separated from my second husband, I just wanted to give them space to figure things out. And I tried keeping in touch with them, and I'm sure they're very angry with me. And understandably, because I didn't know how to stop what happened at the time, because I was also abused. I can look back and see that now. So 2 kids from my first marriage.
I gotta, first of all, say, it sounds like you've lived through a hell of a lot. And I just want to say that it really is heartbreaking to hear that you've been through so much.
Yeah. We all have our stories. We all have our history, right?
Let's go ahead and pause there. We all do have our histories. We also all have products and services that enrich our lives, thanks to our advertisers. Moms, I'm talking to the moms out there. You know, a lot of moms listen to our show. Moms, you do everything for everyone else. And somehow your own wellness, it always gets bumped to the bottom of the list. That's where Live It Up Super Greens comes in. It's a daily habit that actually works. No hassle, no fuss, just scoop, mix, and go. Whether you're tackling school drop-off, conference calls, or the laundry mountain, this is one easy win that supports digestion, energy, and immune health in just 30 seconds. Live It Up Super Greens is an all-natural blend of over 20 superfoods formulated with organic vegetables, probiotics, digestive enzymes, and naturally derived ingredients. Just one scoop a day can promote gut health, support your immune system, and give you that feel-good energy you can count on. It's designed by nutritionists, third-party tested for purity, and made to be easy on your stomach. No grassy taste, no chalky texture. Mix it in water, milk, or a smoothie, and make it a healthy habit you'll look forward to. You'll never believe that a green drink can taste this good. If you haven't mixed super greens into your routine, Live It Up is a must-add. It tastes so much better than the others. It's way more affordable. Live It Up Super Greens offers premium quality without the premium price. It's one of the most affordable ways to support your health daily. I have been taking Live It Up, and I have to tell you, it's so quick. It's so easy. I drink it in the morning, and I feel like I have started off the day by actually prioritizing something that I know gets me off on the right foot and make sure that my health is in focus and that I'm actually trying. It's a small habit, but it has a ripple effect. 96% of people who take Super Greens daily say it helped them increase their daily intake of vegetables and help them feel healthier. And because it's free from sugar, dairy, gluten, and anything artificial, it's something you can feel good about taking every day. Whether you're juggling work, kids, or just trying to feel a little more like yourself, Live It Up Super Greens are a small step that makes a big difference. Live It Up is offering you 15% off your first order, including subscriptions, with code BEAUTIFUL. Plus, shipping's always free. Head to letsliveitup.com/beautiful and use code BEAUTIFUL for 15% off your first Super Greens order. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Thank you again to all of our advertisers. Now let's get back to the phone call.
We all have our story. We all have our history, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to dwell on stuff that's super painful, but it you know, there's questions there. I should check if you're comfortable with me asking them, or if you want to focus on other things.
Anything.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, this Wasband, which, by the way, if that's a phrase you coined, that you should copyright that.
I did not.
You did not. You
no,
picked that up along the way.
A friend, actually.
Yeah.
My friend coined it. I wish I could give you her name, but yeah, I can't take credit.
What a good phrase to say. This is not even an ex-husband. This is a level of shittiness that we're coming up with a new portmanteau for it. We're actually inventing a portmanteau because ex-husband is not a shitty enough phrase to describe. This is a wasband.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you lived in a pretty oppressive environment. And
yeah.
I think the thing that's jumping out at me right now, and I just found myself getting choked up in a way I did not anticipate, but I sit here and go, to hear that you have found a new life where you feel so much more in touch with yourself, so much more empowered, a new power that a new partner that you feel like brings out possibilities in life, brings out the best in you, allows you to go out in situations where you're experiencing nature in a way you never thought you could pull off, and you're doing it, and that you're so much more in touch with yourself, and that so much of that relates to art, laughter, a sense of community.
Yep.
It's so beautiful and it's so inspiring. And then to also hear that you've got 2 kids and that this piece of shit guy still exists, at the very least, even if you've managed to get him out of your life, that he still is this barrier between you and people you love. Yeah. I sit there, I go, it's heartbreaking. It's really brutal, and it's both brutal for you, and you sound so respectful of the fact that your boys need some distance, and your boys went through it too, and have a right to process that in their own way and to have their own opinions on it, which has to be hugely, I mean, you have to really be on top of your shit, and I'm sure doing so much soul searching, and I would imagine talking with therapists to help even get to a place to grant them that distance and that grace. But it's also, it sucks so bad for them. It must suck so bad for them.
I know.
There must be such a part of you that wants to go like, I need to know how you two are doing, and secondary to that need of wanting to know how my kids are doing, man, would it be amazing for you to see that I'm okay. Even if your feelings aren't at a place where that's your concern, it would be so eye-opening for them. It would be, I have such a feeling just from our brief discussion thus far, the healing that would come from your boys seeing the serenity you've found and the growth you've fostered would give them so much healing. It's the damage that this Wasband did, but still does. I didn't misspeak, actually. That even the negative space of where he once was.
Yeah.
God damn, that sucks.
It does suck. Yeah. I thank you. I mean, it's I don't know what to do. I actually, so I made the decision to go back to school, and by back, I mean, after graduating high school in 1995, I basically went to college for a half a semester before dropping out because, can you hear me okay? There's a plane flying overhead.
You sound great.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, anyway, I do have ADHD. I was diagnosed with that also later in life. Also another very common thing that I think you hear sometimes. So I really struggled with academics growing up and after high school. So anyway, now I have my medication, which has been also life-changing, so I can actually accomplish things. And, I'm in a much better situation in my life where I have supportive people who want to see me succeed and become a bigger, better version of myself and be the best me that I can be. So I enrolled in college last summer.
Hell
and
yeah.
So I'm majoring in psychology. Another, not social worker. I know you get a lot of social workers, but
psychologists welcome too. Psychologists welcome too.
Yeah. So I'll get a bachelor's in psychology, and then I'll move on to become a psychotherapist. I'll go to graduate school, and I don't know if I'll end up being an LCSW or a counselor or marriage and family. I don't know. Whatever I can do to become a psychotherapist. So anyway, but I want to be able to help people who have been through it like I have, or maybe even worse. I want to help people with trauma. I'd love to be able to help kids if I can. And honestly, I hope that this is a way for me to somehow heal my relationship with my boys, right? Can you still hear me okay? That plane is really loud.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I keep trying to run away from sound. It's crazy. So I still, I've done so much work and I've made so much progress and things are so great, but that is still the one thing is like healing my relationship with my kids. I don't know how to do that. And I'm really hoping that I can learn how by, this school, by going to school and learning about mental health and family relationships and healing and all of that. So, and I would love for them to be able to see what's possible. I want them to be okay. I want them to not just okay. I want them to be healthy and happy. And the last I heard, they were doing fine. But I don't know. It sucks. Like I don't even know my kids. Like I've given birth to two boys who are technically adults now, and which is bizarre in itself. And, I haven't been able to be their mom in so long. And even when they were with me, it was just fraught with fucking trauma.
Yeah.
What a shit deal to pass on to a generation of humans.
And you don't exchange phone calls, texts, emails. It's you're being held at arm's length.
Yeah, there's just so much to it, right? But even back in the day, I bought them iPads back in the day and tried to keep in touch with them, and then they're lost. I think that their dad didn't make it. He did not make it easy for us to stay in touch either. And at first, he had no good reason. Unfortunately, after I married my second husband, he did have a good reason, unfortunately, to kind of keep them distance from me. And in retrospect, I'm so glad that he did. I think even when I was married to my second husband, I knew there was just something deep down inside of me that was my kids can't be with me. I can't protect them when I'm with this man. And I didn't know how to get out of the relationship, So it was the lesser of the evils, having them stay with their dad. And
with their dad, you can't reach out to him. You and he don't have any connection either?
No, we don't have any connection. He wasn't abusive like my second husband was. But he was definitely very controlling, and he was very manipulative. I think he's very codependent and just needed to be in control of everything. So, yeah, and I didn't have the confidence or wherewithal to, stand up for myself or advocate for myself or even advocate for my kids, which is so awful. And it sucks too, because you become a parent and you're just supposed to do everything right. You're just supposed to okay, now you're a parent. Now you have to do everything right. You have to make all of the right decisions. And I didn't even know how to take care of myself. I was just under the thumb of another person, of a controlling man the entire time. And I could never do anything right, and it just again, it turned me into a shell of a human. I was just what are you supposed to do? How do you, I envy the parents that, I hear these heroic stories of single moms or single dads or whatever or people who have been in abusive relationships and, did everything to keep their kids and, sacrificed everything for their kids to make sure that they were with them. And I couldn't do that. And, I don't know. That's just the way it is. And so I'm really working hard on making a better future in whatever way I can, however it looks. And hopefully my boys, they'll be ready someday, and I'll be ready for them when they are.
That's real life. You just laid out some real life stuff.
Yeah.
Movies have definitive endings. Movies have act turns where a inciting incident causes growth and change, and we get to watch it. Real life is a slog, is up and down, is hazy non-endings, is things taking longer than you'd ever imagine they could. It's real life.
Yeah.
I don't want to dwell on the past too much, but just because I am so impressed by who you are now.
Oh, thank you.
And all the growth you've laid out. I am wondering, how'd you get away from that Wasband? Because this sounds like a terrible situation. So I want to know how you got out of there.
Well, thanks for asking. That's actually a really great question, because not everybody is able to, right? I couldn't have done it without my therapist, quite frankly. Like, I I had to basically manipulate him into letting me get therapy because he thought it was a waste of time and a waste of money. But, you know, like, things were so bad at that point, and I just, you know, I was such a terrible wife, you know, so the only way I was able to make him be okay with it was me saying, look, in order for me to be a better wife, I need help. Obviously, I'm not doing this right. I can't make you happy. I can't do anything right. I need help. And so he finally conceded, and I had some appointments with her, and then we ended up doing couples counseling, actually. And it took like 6 months or something like that before any abuse stuff came up. Like, things were getting better, but there was always this part of me that was like, I don't trust this. I don't trust his behavior, you know? And our therapist doesn't know that, like, some of the shit that's happened. And finally, I was able to communicate that with her, and she said, oh, yeah, okay, that changes things. And I really think that she helped make it possible for me to leave. Because she had developed a rapport with my ex, and like, he trusted her. And I think she was able to help orchestrate it by just, like, making it possible for us to have a separation, you know, just so that I could work on myself and get better. And then that just, like, led into me being able to make that permanent. So I feel I'm so grateful to her, because I honestly don't know how I would have left.
What a wild story.
You know, I don't think that he was the kind of person that, like, would kill me or anything like that. He's not, like, that crazy. But I have no doubt it would have escalated into physical violence or more physical violence. And who knows what would have happened. But God damn, I can't, like, like, I can't even imagine what my life would have been like had I not been able to get that help.
So when you were first seeing your therapist, were you kind of giving it a song and dance, and in your sessions kind of praying, please see me, please see the truth, please see what's under this, please sense what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, well,
that's a scary place to be.
But I also did genuinely want to get better. Like, I did feel like a failure. I really did feel that way too. I really did feel like I just had no, like, all of my insides were ripped open, you know, and exposed to the world. And I had given him everything I could, and it still wasn't enough. And, you know, so I still, you know, there was a part of me that wondered if it was possible for us to make a future work at that time. But deep down, I knew, deep down, like, and it's so crazy because, like, you know, when we were in therapy, like, he was just, like, back to Mr. Charming, and, like, did wonderful things and was so kind and loving. And it's such a mind fuck, because I was like, I know this. I know this song and dance. He's done this before, and it always it's the abuse cycle, which now I know. I didn't know then, but it's just the abuse cycle, you know, putting him on a pedestal, and then it just gradually turns into the abuse, and then there's, like, it's the whole cycle. So
it must be strange now for you as well to be studying psychology, thinking about...
Oh, it's awesome.
But it's got to be so strange to read case studies or read about cycles or read about patterns and go, weird, I've lived it. I wonder how many other people in this classroom have... How many of them is this purely theoretical versus me? Yeah. I've seen it. I've looked it in the eye. I've lived it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you know, I go to a community college, so there's definitely some non-traditional students, but it's definitely mostly people in their early 20s and who also have their own forms of trauma. You know, undoubtedly, but yeah. To your point, yeah, I get it. Yep. I lived it, but you know, what a great perspective too. And this is not unique to me. This is so many other people who have gone into therapy later in life to become therapists. A lot of it does stem from their own healing, right? And it gives such a unique perspective and ability to be able to connect with people and help them in a different way than people who are learning it, just in theory, like you were saying. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a story. And here I am making fun of Burning Man, and for you, it was a big part of unlocking all the standard issue of how life is supposed to go, the paradigms we're supposed to live by.
Yeah.
It showed you that there
Right.
was self-determination that was possible, and I'm out here going, man, it's a bunch of hippies having sex in the desert.
I know. Yep. Well, that's okay. Everyone has a different view of Burning Man and that whole thing, and
No, I've come around.
Like I said, that's indescribable. So
it's easy to make fun of the Instagram photos, but anything that's like,
oh yeah,
let's get a community together.
Even burners make fun of those.
Yeah, and look, let me go on record and say, even though I've used it as an easy punchline over the years, anything that says let's build a community around art, let's build a community around letting our guard down, let's build a community around inclusivity. I would like to think that people know that my jokes are my jokes, but that at the end of the day, you're not going to find a guy who's lived a life where you go, cool, an arts-driven community that's all about inclusivity. Generally, I am the type of person that shouts to the hilltops about how those are vital and necessary and need to survive. Certainly right now. Yeah. Certainly this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Burning Man's not perfect, It's like I said, it's a city. It's a temporary city, and in every city there's going to be really beautiful things and really horrific things, and everything in between, right? So, there's definitely plenty to make fun of about it, but there's also plenty to really celebrate about it, and I really do think that despite its faults, like it really has been a positive thing for so many people and have helped a lot of people too, which is pretty cool. Kind of like with what you're doing with your, what is it? The
Laughing Together.
Yes. Laughing Together. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not trying to compare that to Burning Man, but the sense of community that I would imagine you're creating with that and helping people become, more confident. These young people become more confident and assured and better communicators. And I mean, what a gift to them and to their communities and to their futures. Like, that's
Andrea just typed in our chat that Laughing Together is basically Burning Man for kids, which is making me laugh. But I thank you. I thank you for the kind words. I'm happy to try to do my part, try to use the art form that I've loved for decades and been good at for decades towards a greater purpose. And I do think that not every community is for everyone. Not every art form is for everyone. Right. But I'm starting to think that there's two fundamental types of people in the world. There's people who go, how do I make things better for me? And there's people who go, how do I make things better for the world? And I'm not trying to be pretentious. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back too hard, but I am lucky that I have consistently surrounded myself with people who go, can the world be a little bit better? Can we find ways to make people feel better? Can we find ways to make it so that the shitty aspects of our youth can be less shitty for the people who come after us? Are there injustices happening? Can they be corrected? Can I do anything? Can I get off my ass, lift a finger, and do something about it? These are real questions that are worth asking,
I really want to add to that, because yes to all of that. And I will, just to kind of add a different sort of attachment to that, people who are in trauma usually aren't able to do that. So like, I was never in a headspace before where I could even think that way about like, I was in service to people in other ways with maybe my job or whatever, but like, I could never think about actually like making a difference in the world because I wasn't even surviving, mentally. And so now, so that's one of the gifts too of the people in my life, my friendships and my partnership now. These are people who are, in really healthy spaces that I'm not saying they don't have their traumas, but they're in a space where they are able to think big. And these people have taught me how to look at the bigger picture and look at how to be a part of a community and how to do your part to make the community better, to make this world better in just little ways,
I'm with you.
So to have that example, like in my life actively is so cool. And people just need to see that. So I feel like, you're able to offer that to people who wouldn't have that example to witness and to model, right?
We all have to help each other, everybody. You got to model it. You got to witness it. You got to find ways to help the people in your communities. It's go time. We'll be right back. Cooler temperatures are rolling in, everybody. Fall is upon us. And as always, Quince is where I'm turning for fall staples that actually last. From cashmere to denim to boots, the quality holds up and the price still blows me away. Quince has the kind of fall staples you'll wear nonstop, like super soft 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters, starting at just $60. That is a deal. Their denim is durable, it fits right. Their real leather jackets bring that clean classic edge without the elevated price tag. What makes Quince different? They partner directly with ethical factories and skip the middlemen, so you get top-tier fabrics and craftsmanship at half the price of similar brands. I will tell you, just today, I said I'm hosting an event. There's going to be hundreds of people watching. This is a thing I'm lucky to do sometimes. I want to look good. I want to feel good on stage. I want to know that life is easy. You know what I threw on? My gray Quince sweater. It's an absolute go-to part of my wardrobe, especially when I need to feel confident. And I just want to reiterate personally, if you look into Quince and how they do things, they're absolutely trying to include ethics in their business model. That is something we have to support. Not everybody does that. Kudos to Quince. Keep it classic and cool this fall with long-lasting staples from Quince. Go to quince.com/beautiful for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/beautiful. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/beautiful. Thanks again to all of our advertisers. Now let's finish the phone call.
I feel like, you're able to offer that to people who wouldn't have that example to witness and to model, right? So,
it's kind of you to say, and I also want to just echo you and say trauma comes in many forms. For you, it was an actual abusive relationship. Sounds like maybe a couple along the way, but for other people, I need to be clear. I don't want anybody sitting here rolling their eyes and going, don't tell me I didn't do enough. If you are somebody who's not certain where you're going to be sleeping in a week, that's traumatic. If you're somebody who's not certain when the next meal is coming, that's traumatic. If you're somebody who has to worry about the actual infrastructure you're able to provide for your family, if you're out here in the situation that's becoming all too common now of working multiple jobs, and you never get to see your kids, and you have to wonder about the damage between, all right, is that going to do that? But they need health insurance, and I need more than one job to be able to pay the rent and have health insurance and this and that. Financial trauma. So I'm not speaking to the people who are fighting their way through the shit right now. You're in the shit. You need to take care of yourself. You need to get to a point of stability. That's the fight you're fighting.
Yes.
I see you. I understand. But I am speaking directly to the people who, when you get to a point of stability, to me, I sit here, I go, if you don't sit here and turn around, like, I don't understand why more people in my life don't volunteer. And I don't say it out of judgment. I say it from a legitimate lack of understanding, like, I doubt that these people listen to the podcast, but I'll keep it a little vague. Like, there's a person who I have met in recent years who really likes to brag that they drive around in a truck that cost over $150,000. And I sit here and in my head, I go, when you're bragging about that, you're bragging to the wrong fucking guy. Because there's not a world in which I could ever say that as an adult, you need a fucking toy that costs that much money. There's too many other... Like, if you got that much money to spend, if you want to spend it on yourself, put it in your kid's fucking college fund. Don't come around swinging your dick around telling me how expensive your fucking truck is. Like, donate that money to a cause or put it towards something long-term that's going to help your kids and your grandkids. But if it becomes about you fucking driving around, rolling down your tinted windows and telling me how much your truck costs... Fuck off. You're not bringing shit to the table, and there's too many bad things to think about right now. There are too many fights to fight for me to deal with a fucking rich guy who wants to have grown-up toys. It drives me a little crazy. I said it wasn't out of judgment. It purely is. As I say it out loud, I hear myself saying it. I'm purely judging it.
I mean, I don't judge, but I totally judge.
I don't judge, but fuck you and your man-child with your toys if you're not bringing... But it's like... But that also being said, I'm not just trying to be... I don't think all rich people are bad. I do think there's a lot of rich people that go, let me take a deep breath, thank God for everything I've got, and set up a financial infrastructure where my grandkids are all going to be okay. I sit here, I go, you seem like a reasonable person who's keeping your wealth in the family, but you're thinking of how to spread it out. Kudos to you. There's rich people out here who fund wings of fucking hospitals. Kudos to you. You realize there's fights that need to be fought. You're using the position you found yourself in to fight the fight. But some of these people who act like there's no fucking things in the world to think about except how to have a louder fucking sound system in your fourth fucking car. I sit here, I go, there's too many fights to fight right now. There's too much shit that matters right now for me to pretend that this conversation makes me want to do anything except fucking fall asleep. Sorry, I don't even know where that came from.
No. Oh, yeah, I get it. Anyway, I totally get it.
Anyway, laughingtogether.org, everybody. That's you brought up my nonprofit, and I went on a rant against people with too expensive vehicles.
Help yourself if you need to, and when you're able to help yourself, then help other people. How about that?
Thank you. That's the more rational and chill version of what I had to say. But it sounds to me like you're taking all your trauma and gearing up to go. I'll also say this too. To hear you say you finished high school, real life, you went to a partial semester of college, walked away, academics were always too hard. You get on the other side of what sounds like many, many ups and downs to a degree that your own family got driven apart. And then you take a deep breath. Yeah. You find yourself, take a deep breath and go, I'm going to go back to school now as a grown-up, which, you know, being...
Oh, my God. That was not something I thought I was able to do. It's something I've wanted to do for years. And I was like, oh, there's no fucking way. Like, I'm in my 40s. Like, what's the point?
Yeah,
I can't. I'm tired.
Being in your 40s and going back to school...
Oh, yeah.
You're older. You don't have the stamina. You got to get up and commute to a fucking 9 a.m. class. Sit in a room with a bunch of 19-year-olds who you can feel they're not looking to bond with the 46, 47, 48-year-old people. It's an uphill climb. And then to know that you're doing it specifically because you're studying a field that when you turn around and you get that degree, it empowers you to then go out and help others. That is badass.
Yeah.
It's really, really badass.
Thanks.
And it's not easy.
I'm going to just brag for a second because this is honestly like crazy. This is crazy. I am a 4.0 student now, which is wild because I was a solid D, C, maybe a B if I liked the class when I was a kid kind of a thing. I cannot believe I have a 4.0 and I've worked my ass off for it. It's been so hard. Even math. I recently found out I have dyscalculia, which is basically dyslexia, but for math. Fairly
certain I have it too.
Shit. Yeah, I've heard you talk about that a little bit. Yeah, it's a thing. It's real. Like, so I actually took my math class over the summer, and I worked so hard. It was so hard. But I got an A. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, I've done something right in my life.
Good on you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll keep it. Knock on wood. But
how much longer till you get your degree? You're at the community college now, and then I imagine flip over to...
Oh, I've got a long road. Yeah. I've just entered basically my sophomore year. So I've got to finish my bachelor's and then go on to graduate school. So, I'll be into my 50s when I get started with my new career, but that's okay.
But I have to imagine, and I'm not trying to be too melodramatic, you've talked about how a therapist worked with you, got to the bottom of what was going on, and helped you find the oxygen and space to get out and have a chance at saving your own life, rebuilding your own life.
Yeah.
I have to imagine there must be a part of you that's already chomping at the bit to know, like, there's going to come a time in your 50s where you get your degree, and you might feel a little older when that happens, but if some 28, 29, 33, 35-year-old woman sits down, that
I'm so excited.
You're going to have
excited to be able to just sit with people. Yeah.
Your knives are going to be so sharpened to have an antenna that can sense that specific type of distress, and you're going to be able to be for others who that therapist was for you.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that. All I want to do is sit with people and talk with them and hear their stories and help them process their shit. And I really just want to help people be the best version of themselves, whatever that looks like. I just want to be able to hold space for that and to see people step into that. I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Yeah, how much time do we have, by the way? I meant to time it and I forgot.
We've got about 6.5 minutes left.
Oh, okay. So I was in theater in high school and college. I actually had a theater scholarship that got me into college, but I couldn't keep it because I couldn't keep the academics up. And I was never I was never an active person. I was never a physical person. I never worked out or, took care of my body in that way. Right. And that's another new thing for me these past few years is I've become sort of more embodied in myself and learning about how to become stronger physically. So I started going to the gym, which is crazy for me.
Imagine when you're dating a Marine, the standards of physicality are just higher in the household.
Yeah. Well, he's not, I don't think anyone would ever suspect that he's a Marine because, oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I'm just going to say this. When I was single and kind of ready to step into looking for a relationship, I can't believe I'm saying this. So I made a list. I made this big list of what I wanted in a man. I also made a list of how I wanted to be in a relationship, the kind of person I wanted to be.
Love that.
But some of the stuff that I wrote was I wanted him to be what I can't remember my exact words, but basically masculine, but also in touch with his femininity. I wanted him to be funny. I wanted him, good sense of humor. I wanted him to be good at yoga, maybe even better than me at yoga. I wanted him to like theater, including musical theater, love, animals and children and blah, 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 and lots of other things. But, at the end I was so basically I want a gay guy. But okay. And, but so my guy, he fits almost all of the things that I put on my list. So he's a former Marine, he's an engineer. He's incredibly smart. He's so fucking funny. He's got the best sense of humor. He makes me laugh all the time. like I was saying earlier, kind, generous, blah, blah, blah. And he is so fucking good at yoga. And he likes musical theater. like we've listened to show tunes together. Like I swear he's so awesome. He's not gay. He is definitely not gay. And I'm not saying I am an ally.
You go to Burning Man every year. We're pretty sure I think everybody's pretty sure where your politics lie in terms of LGBTQ rights.
Yeah.
See, we could never date. You and I could never date because I am, when I tell you, maybe the worst at yoga out of anyone who's ever attempted it in the history of yoga. So, not an exaggeration. I've had yoga instructors make fun of me in front of the class.
We have found our partners, so I'm so happy for both of us. I'm so happy for you and your wife, and I'm so happy for me and my guy. So. Yeah,
I'm glad we found those people, because if yoga is on the checklist, I'm off. I'm out.
Yeah, I know that was such a random thing for me. I don't know why I put that on there, but I was like, oh, the other thing too is like I wanted him to like sports and be good at sports, but not into sports. Like I didn't want him to like watch sports on TV, you know. And that's exactly him. He's actually very athletic. He's really good. He's able to pick up new, like, I don't know, skills and stuff like that. And he can play sports, but he doesn't watch them on TV. Like he doesn't give a shit about teams. He's my dream man. It's amazing.
It's awesome. I want to end, though, not talking about him. I want to end talking about you. That feels important to me. How are you? Not a fair question to ask with 2 minutes left, but you have this past defines you in so many ways. Present is feeling very good. How are we feeling about the future? How do you balance those things?
Yeah, I'm a little scared, but also I feel I'm excited for the future. I'm definitely scared about the financial aspects of the future because it's not like I have that in order yet. But one of my classes this semester is a personal finance class, so I'm trying to learn. But no, I feel good about my future. Like overall, fingers crossed, right? I think that the second half of my life will be completely different than the first half of my life. And I'm in a good way. Yeah. I think that I'm equipped to be able to handle challenges now in a way that I never was able to before. And I hope that answers your question. I don't know. It does.
I have such a good feeling for your future. I feel like you're going to help so many people. I feel like it's going to be healthier, happier. And I also, I'm not going to be a Hallmark movie, but I'm just holding out hope that you also reconnect with everyone. I would imagine your boys most of all, and other people as well, who I'm sure are on the kind of the locked door of that relationship. I hope you reconnect with any of those people you want to, because I have a feeling they'll be so proud of you and so happy for you.
That means a lot. Thank you so much. I hope so too.
This ends our time on the free feed. Are you cool hanging out behind the paywall and answering a couple questions?
Yes, and I just want to say one thing really quickly about that. When I first started listening to your show, and I heard you talk about like the paywall thing, you know, I wasn't a part of the community yet, so I was like, why would anyone pay to listen to 5 questions? That seems dumb. But one day I bit the bullet and did it, and now I get it. I love the 5 questions. It's definitely worth a little bit of money. So I just had to put that out there.
Thank you for saying it. The plug is appreciated. Like most of my art over the years, people hear about it, they go, that sounds dumb. And then there's more heart to it than you'd expect.
They're so great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks for taking that one in so many places. Everybody who's on the free feed, goodbye. caller, sincerely, thank you so much for the Burning Man education and obviously, and more importantly, for the vulnerability, for telling us about the path you've walked, for telling us about where you're at now. It was really fascinating to hear, and I won't forget it. Thank you so much. Thank you to our producer, Andrea Quinn. Thank you to Shellshag for the theme music. punchup.live/Chris Gethard if you want to know when I'm out on the road. The voicemail line is 973-306-4676. The Instagram is Beautiful Anonymous Pod. Join the Facebook group. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for listening. This week on Beautiful Anonymous Plus, here's some of what you'll get from the 5 questions. Oh, of course. Would you rather have a shark fin or a kangaroo pouch?
Oh, that's such a dumb question. I've heard it asked before. It's so funny.
Yeah, I love that you were like,
a kangaroo pouch.
You're like, everybody needs to sign up for the questions. They're brilliant. I used to think it was dumb. It's not dumb. I love it. Sign up, everybody. And then some people sign up. Great. And then you get shark fin or kangaroo pouch. All these people who trusted you are now scrambling to unsubscribe immediately. Don't forget to sign up for Beautiful Anonymous Plus at beautifulanonymous.com.